The suppliers you have to always keep in mind is that even though some suppliers are going to be cheaper than the others in some areas, you always have to keep taking consideration two factors. One is what is the price of the product, and second is what is the price of shipping. When it comes to finding the right supplier, you also have to find a combination of what is the shipping cost and what is their product cost. Because sometimes you're going to find that some supplier has a shirt for $5 and $5 shipping. That's going to be $10. And then you're going to find another supplier that has it for $6 and the shipping is $3.50. Well, that's $9.50. And then you got to check also is that what is the shipping cost for additional items. Like most premium demand suppliers are going to charge $1 for each additional shirt, while some premium demand suppliers charge $1.50 and some charge $2 for additional shirt. So those numbers make a huge difference when you are looking at your supplier. So always, most people always go and look at, oh, they have the cheapest shirts, but they don't look at the shipping costs and they don't look at the combined shipping cost either. I know you don't sell a lot of double, triple, four baggers, but it's something that you need to really keep in consideration if there is something that you really plan to do. So that way you don't lose money when you make a sale and you have, like, let's say somebody goes and buy 10 shirts from you, and it was like a $5 for the first product, and let's say $5 shipping and then $1 extra for each one. So the total shipping cost was going to be $15, right? Well, actually 14 because it's 9 plus 5 for the first one. But let's say that the one charges $5 for the first one and $2 for the extra ones. Well, now it is 2 times 9, 18 plus 5 is 23. You just lost literally $10 in that sale. So it's something that you need to keep in consideration when looking at suppliers. A lot of suppliers go and say, my products are cheaper, but the shipping cost is more expensive. And that makes a big difference. For example, Printful is expensive, but their shipping rates are one of the cheapest in the industry. But it still doesn't justify to use them because they are still expensive, right? But they are one of the ones that are like the most. Now, the bad thing about Printful is that sometimes they charge you less in shipping than they told you they were going to be, but then the next product they charge you more because they have fluctuating shipping. You want to have transparency. You want to have a fixed price. So having a fixed price is better for you to calculate your shipping costs. So always keep that in consideration when picking a supplier. Here's what I'm talking about, guys. So Printful is the easiest integration you will find, okay? Printful is literally like you click the product, add the design, push it to Etsy, done. It's so simple. It's like, I never seen an integration that is as 1, 2, 3 as Printful is. Now, look at this price. The Gildan 5000 is $13.25. Okay. Now let's go to Printify. A Gildan 5000 is $5.25. That is an $8 difference. Now we're gonna go to Custom Cat, and we're gonna go to men's shirts, and we're gonna go sort by low to high, and the Gildan 5000 is gonna be $7. However, if you join the $30 a month with them, it's gonna be $5.50. So you can get that one here as well. And then you have T-Launch, which T-Launch is more expensive when it comes to those shirts. That's the one. For them, it's gonna be, this is the Gildan 5000. To them, it's $8.50. So if you are going to be doing the Gildan 5000 and doing it from Printful, you're already losing almost $8 difference when you compare it to some other suppliers. And that's what I'm talking about. Right? Printful is super easy, but look at this difference. You go to Printify and you can get it for $5.25. Now, most likely this is probably something like, okay, Gem Design. These guys are like the best rating. This supplier is at $6.08, and the shipping is $4. Okay, so we can do that. We are going to go here, and these guys are your cost is $7. It gets cheaper. You actually pay for the program, which you are going to be doing volume. It does. They have a shipping table somewhere in here. Okay. The shipping of the first product is going to be $3.99 in custom CAD. Okay, and if you send to Alaska, Hawaii, or Puerto Rico, it's going to be $5.50. So that's something you have to take in consideration when you're building your shipping tables. You're going to be using custom CAD. You have to create a table that is like continental USA is going to be X amount of dollars, and you're going to say to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and Alaska, it's going to cost you a little extra. Okay, so they're giving you here the shipping tables. You see, every single extra item is going to be 75 cents. And here is 75 cents, and we're gonna see in Printify. Printify is not telling us here how much it's gonna be, but you will have to go and look. But right now, you are seeing that the shipping is about the same, and 75 cents only for an extra item with custom CAD. Most likely, this guy's gonna be higher. Shipping and more details. Here we go. So first item is gonna be. See, here you go. The first item is gonna be $4. The second item is gonna be $2. Okay, and that is where it gets tricky, right? And these guys are completely proving my point. 75 cents here versus here. Now you go to Printful. Printful has a different shipping table, which is completely. Printful is going to be $3.99 for the first product, and then it's going to be $1.25 for the second product. So that is what I mean when you're doing something like this. So we're gonna go now into products, and we're gonna go into coffee mugs. I saw it. Okay, there you go. So you see the coffee mug. This is the one I just showed you earlier. Okay, you see the inside. They are pretty. They are very, very complete. But these ones are $8.95, and the shipping is going to be $6.99 for the first product. So when you have 9 plus 7, we're talking about $16 each. No, thank you. When we go into custom CAD and we go into the accent mugs, they're going to be $4.50 plus $5. So this is going to be $9.50. You're going to get the same mug from T-Launch, literally for $6.50 cheaper than in Printful. And that is why a lot of people, when they come from, they come and the first thing they use is Printful, because it's the one that everybody knows. And they go into Etsy, they're saying, my God, I'm not making any money. I am not making any sales. I'm way too expensive. That is because you're using the wrong supplier. Printful is amazing for newcomers. It's amazing for somebody who is learning. But once you know what you're doing, you should never really use Printful. It gets too expensive, and they really have no unique products. When it comes to ISO products, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So now we're gonna go into custom CAD. In custom CAD, the same mug is gonna cost you $5. Okay, now that is gonna be probably different shipping because that is mugs. Most likely they will tell you here where it is. Oh, lightweight drinkware, here we go. $5 for the first mug, because that will be the lightweight drinkware. So that's $5 for the first mug. When you compare it with T-Launch, with T-Launch, you're at the same range. T-Launch is charging you $5. And when you go into Printful, they're literally charging you $7. So that is what I do. I always go and look for the suppliers, and I make sure that the suppliers I'm going to use, the combination of shipping and cost is not out of proportion, because what they get you in is in the secondary product, and that is where it starts to hurt. You see, in the mugs, the first product is it wasn't $6.99, it was $3.99. What was this $6.99 then? Oh, okay, this is the first. Okay, this is the name of products. This is going to be $4 for additional product here. That is nuts. $6.99 plus $4 and the additional content. Here in the first mug is going to be $4.99 plus $1.50 for each additional mug. So it is almost $2 cheaper for one mug, and it's like literally $2 cheaper for the second mug. So you were to sell 2 mugs, you will lose literally about $7 in shipping. That gets nuts. So that is what you always have to pay attention to, what they're charging you in the combination of both the shipping and the product. Okay. Now I'm going to take you to some of the products that I have found. So see, Mux and Printify are higher. So that's what I done. Now, this one, the water bottle, I have sold it very well using Custom Cat, which is $11. But here is like $11.49. So join their Facebook group, and people are always talking about which suppliers are good and which suppliers are bad. The locker, but that is how I go around. So these little water bottles, I sold them very well last Christmas. Okay, so it makes sense, right? Why it's important to go and look for the right supplier for your products. Even though now you're gonna find sometimes a time where you only find one supplier and you don't find more choices than what it is being offered in the market at that specific time, and there is nothing really you can do about it. So you're gonna have to use that supplier if you want to sell their products. Yeah, but if you have now that more and more print on demand companies are offering integrations to Etsy, it makes total sense to do your due diligence and look into which supplier is going to make the best sense on money wise, because any savings you get, you can pass to your customers, and it can increase your sales. Right now, some people may say, price is aligned with quality. Let's keep it honest and simple. These are print-on-demand products. They are not quality. Most of these are used impulse products, and that is what people expect. So now, if you want to go into quality, then use a better quality product and better quality base, and then you can charge a little bit more. But when you can get shirts, instead of paying $13.95 on Printful, and you can see now that you can get them for about $5.50 in average, just the Gildan alone. Now don't tell me that you cannot compete at $14.99 selling a shirt. If you sell it for $14.99 plus shipping, you will still be making about $9 profit. So you can even sell for $14.99 with shipping included, and you will still be making about $5. Now, I'm not saying go ahead and do that. Everybody makes their own decisions in their own business and how they want to make money. But if you were before not able to compete with other suppliers, with other sellers, because they were selling too cheap, well, now you know why is the reason. It's because they're getting the products at the price that is really aligned with the market, and they're not overpaying for something with Printful, which is literally abusing the newcomers by offering a lot of the products at a high cost. Now you're gonna find some suppliers that you're gonna have to do this manually, and it's not gonna be fun because you're gonna have to process your orders, and for them you're probably gonna have to use something like Shopify to process the orders for them. So, and that comes down to, for example, Shine On. And I want to talk about Shine On in a bit, but I just wanted to cut here. Do you guys, before I go into Shine On, you have any questions of these suppliers?
Fernando, is Custom Cat Shopify only?
No. Custom Cat just launched an integration about 3 weeks ago to Etsy. That is why I haven't even added that video into the course. This is brand new. I just talked to Alex Phillips, which is the relations manager for Custom Cat right before this call. And he tells me that, everything is working fine, that right now their focus is actually helping people make money on Etsy more than in Shopify, because they see the market is very interesting there. Yes, some suppliers don't offer the rare color variations. Now, keep in consideration something when you're pricing those products is that you're using a color that nobody else is using. You can make a listing around only those specific colors and price those products for a specific price. You have zero competition there because most likely a lot of people are not using those colors. So it doesn't hurt to have like one listing from, like let's say from from Custom Cat with the basic colors, and then have another listing, for example, with Printful with the fancy colors, and a different price. You can do that. You can also say, because you having the same listing is going to cause a lot of confusion from your customers of why the same shirt is because it changed some color, it's going to change the price. So also offering too many color variations in one listing only creates confusion and creates customers to say, yeah, goodbye, I'm leaving. If you think about it, when you go to a store, let's say you go to Target and you're looking for t-shirts, they don't have the same t-shirt in 5 different colors. They have it on one, right? And the reason they have it on one is because they did their market analysis and they decided that specific shirt is going to look good in sand green, and it's going to look good in men, and it's going to look good with this design. And that's it. It's the only color they offer. And they take the whole risk of going with that. The reason is they don't want to create distraction. When you give customers a lot of choices, the customer goes into the mini mode, and they end up going squirrel and going and pick something else and they don't buy it. Because because one thing people hate is choices. And they get, and so they bounce. One of the big mistakes that people have is that they offer every color available. And then that causes, and then it causes the customer to be like confused. Say, you know what, I'll come back later. Let me think what color I want. Let me think with what color pants I want to wear this. Let me think when I think about my outfit, how it's going to be. And then they never come, because then they go somewhere else and they find what they were looking for, and then they forget. But this is something that I will use, like you can use a supplier that has the cheap for the basic colors, and then I will use the supplier that has the other one, but in a different listing. And a different price. If you are really into selling those specific colors, that's what I would do. Otherwise, list everything but use other supplier, and that can cause like the price to go high in the black and white shirts, because black and white shirts you shouldn't be charging a lot for them. People usually pay lower for black, white, and and gray colors than for other color shirts.